Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy. Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I am your host, King 053, Mr. Easy Imali Enengi, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we go back to the ANC. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, we are in that election season where each party is going to try to attack the people they are most threatened with and it looks like the ANC are intimidated by Jacob Zuma's presence in Umkhonto weSizwe. They are intimidated by Umkhonto weSizwe as a political party. They are intimidated by Jacob Zuma's 9-year term in the ANC. They are trying by all means to attack Jacob Zuma without hating themselves, just like Fikile Mbalula, Usista Mbalula did when he spoke about the Nkandla fire pool, swimming pool situation. So they are trying by all means to say, we need to discredit the legacy of Jacob Zuma. But in discrediting it, we must make sure that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. That is what they are trying to do. And it is a very difficult exercise to execute perfectly. So it looks like they have agreed that, listen, each and every week we're going to launch an attack to Jacob Zuma's legacy in the ANC. So we saw how they've been rolling out. The whole of January, it was first the leaders in KwaZulu-Natal attacking Jacob Zuma. Then we had Fikile Mbalula attacking Jacob Zuma. Then we had Begicele attacking Jacob Zuma. We had Gwede Mantashe attacking Jacob Zuma. We had Thabang Makwetla attacking Jacob Zuma. And now we have the former president, Thabo Mbheki, attacking Jacob Zuma. Now, up to this moment, Thabo Mbheki was not really vocal about Jacob Zuma's term. He was very careful in how he was wording his words with Jacob Zuma's term. He was very vocal on Cyril Ramaphosa's term. We know that he wrote a lot of letters to the deputy president, Paul Mashatile, and he said, listen, I'm not happy with how the ANC is conducting itself. This renewal process that we are busy with is not working for us as the ANC. We remember that Thabo Mbheki did that. We had leaders of the ANC sending their resignation to the party, moving from one party to another. But since the launch of MK on the 16th of December 2023, the ANC has been running like a headless chicken, trying to control this narrative of the ANC term of Cyril Ramaphosa is wasted. The funny thing is this. They are fighting Jacob Zuma for saying the last 5 years is Cyril Ramaphosa's ANC, and in these 5 years, the ANC has not done well. They are fighting him for saying that. But they want to then turn around and attack the 9 years of Jacob Zuma and say it was wasted. They want Cyril Ramaphosa to be protected by the ANC and say, no, it's the ANC, it's not Cyril Ramaphosa's ANC. But when we go to Jacob Zuma's term, it's not the ANC, but Jacob Zuma's ANC. Where is the logic in all of these things? And the most quotable thing that they will quote, and I'll try to read the article from Samkele, who's the reporter from Samkele Maseko, the reporter from the SABC. What I'm getting here is the ANC is totally in panic mode right now. what we call the chest pain that the EFF was giving the ANC. It looks like the Mkhonto Wesizwe political party is giving them those chest pains times 10. These people can't sleep. And I've told you guys, I said, they are not going to allow Jacob Zuma to be the president of the country. They're going to fight him in court. They're going to fight the existence of Mkhonto Wesizwe. They're going to try to make Mkhonto Wesizwe change its name in court, and they will try to eliminate it from the ballot box. They're going to try to, they're going to try their level best to make sure that that Mkhonto Wesizwe plays absolutely no role in the 2024 election. That's what they're going to try to do. I see this happening. It's not about the name and the trademark of Mkhonto Wesizwe. It's about Mkhonto Wesizwe not playing part in the 2024 election. Now, there's a video I met from the pastor speaking on Mkhonto Wesizwe and how they are not going to allow the IEC, because they see this coming. Jacob Zuma have seen this coming, and I told you guys, Jacob Zuma is a chess player. That man is not playing around. He's thinking 3 moves ahead. Let's quickly listen to the pastor, and then I'll come back and read the article, and then come with my final, my conclusion to this whole thing of Thabo Mbheki. Oh my God, Thabo Mbheki, listen to this.
There is no way yokuthi bona bangahamba labahamba khona bakhulume ubaba unqabalala kabi. As religious leaders, as traditional leaders, we want to tell them that they stop it today, ayikusasa. Bahlangene labahlangene khona, they think they will make a difference, but it's too late. Ngifuna ukuthi kini asambeni ngobuningi bethu sambeni sikwazi ukuyishintsha lento, and ngifuna udeliver a message very clear to the leadership of Mkhonto Wesizwe nationally. If ama elections aka 2024 awanikezi Mkhonto Wesizwe i 2/3 majority, ashiya i-ANC in power, we are going to close the South Africa for good. We need to close in South Africa. We reject the outcomes of the IEC if it doesn't give Mkhonto Wesizwe. We want to say, kunalabafundisi engibabone eLimpopo bekhuluma into abangayaziyo. Angifuni ukuthi badakiwe kodwa ngiyacabanga ukuthi badakiwe. Kunalabafundisi engibabonile bakhuluma nje into abangayizwa ngoba bayazi ipolitiki, banikeza imali, bafumbathiswa imali to turn against the religious leaders of South Africa. Bazokhomba umzonotshwala. I want to say, all of you in KZN, let us wait and prepare for Moses Mapita Stadium. Let us prepare to make sure Ogaguti Ubaba Ungamalala, he gets a 2/3 majority. If Agaitoli, we will close South Africa from Cape to Cairo. We need to come out in numbers and vote. We are going to bring it to an end. And we want to say, we IEC, you better do it the right way, or else we are coming for you. Our message of support is Funuguti Kina, MK Kina. Be strong, MK, be strong. Long live the spirit of Mkhonto Wesizwe, long live. Long live the spirit of Triple AM, long live.
So my fears with that tone of the pastor is this is almost inciting violence for me. And I've said Mkhonto Wesizwe is not a violent political party. They have not shown any signs of violence, but they are saying, do not stop this train. Do not stop this movement. We want to go and vote, and we don't want anyone to stop us from voting. IEC, do not try to do what you are trying to do or what you are thinking to do. Because, ladies and gentlemen, do not fool yourself that the IEC is totally independent. There is no such thing as total independent in anything on earth. There is no such thing. Anything that has human has got a bias to a certain something, a certain topic. Here in this political party, in this podcast, they said, King, you are biased to the EFF. You are biased to Umkhonto weSizwe. And, you know, as a human, you can't help but to lean to a particular thing. As a Pan-Africanist, it's easy for me to choose a political party. It's easy for a Pan-Africanist to choose a political party because as the Pan-Africanist, we choose political party that are advancing the African agenda. I'm not going to speak even further about it. Thabo Mbheki comes out and attacks Jacob Zuma. Let's quickly listen and not listen, read to what Thabo Mbheki said. It says here, former President Thabo Mbheki has launched a scathing attack on his successor Jacob Zuma at party NEC Lekgotla. He was addressing the NEC election commissions at the NEC Lekgotla in Bosberg. Okay, let's see, what did he say? He said, Thabo Mbheki labeled Zuma's term of office as head of state and party president as counter-revolutionary. Counter-revolutionary, yes. So you are saying Jacob Zuma's term was counter-revolutionary? Yes, we agree. Because what is it that Thabo Mbheki did for black people? Because we need to question this Thabo Mbeki's term also. His two terms must be questioned also. What is it that you did for black people, African people, you Thabo Mbheki? Since, well, Jacob Zuma was counter-revolutionary. Yeah, Thabo Mbheki was the best president. He stabled the economy. Did you get the land when the economy was stable? Huh? You people that say the economy was growing at about 3% to 5%, did that stabilization of the economy get you the land? Did you get the minerals? Was there a nationalization of the financial sector? Meaning, was there a state-owned bank? This thing is the Freedom Charter that they were supposed to implement. They didn't. Nelson Mandela didn't. Thabo Mbeki didn't. So Jacob Zuma was a counter-revolutionary because he did not follow suit on what those presidents were doing. The biggest complaint that Thabo Mbeki has is that he captured Jacob Zuma captured Eskom. My people, if you guys don't know the numbers or you are just listening to mainstream media and you are not doing research yourself, that's your own problem. That's your own problem. But when you come to this channel, you're going to get facts, not opinions. Tegeta, the mining company that was supplying, the Gupta company that was supplying coal to Eskom, was supplying, or let's say the supply of coal to Eskom is 100%. Tegeta was supplying 3 to 5% of Eskom coal. You understand? It had a tender of 3 to 5%. The rest was mostly white companies that had evergreen contracts. Some of those contracts coming from 1985. Fact check me, man. Fact check me. Don't have time. There's companies, white-owned companies that have got contracts with Eskom that last for 30 years to 50 years. We call them evergreen contracts. Like, I'm going to supply for you for life. Supply coal to you for life. Jacob Zuma disturbed that whole system and took a few millions, not the billions, because Eskom buys coal like nobody's business. A few millions, 140 million, around there for that 3%, 3% to 5%. And you guys started making a noise. Jacob Zuma produced the most black millionaires in his term. In his 9 wasted years, he produced the most black millionaires. You call them tenderpreneurs. We called it taking back our wealth. Yes, some of those tenderpreneurs disappointed us in not delivering the service the way they were supposed to, but that's not Jacob Zuma's problem. Jacob Zuma opened the door. He opened the door. Now, the problem is that the money was now being taken out of the white monopoly capitalists and it was given to these Indians who were empowering black businesses. They did not want that. So they started painting Jacob Zuma as the most corrupt president. Him and Prime Minister ran ESCOM successfully. They gave ESCOM, the so-called broken ESCOM that had only, I think, 12 hours of load shedding, 12 to 48 hours the whole year. The whole year, Brian Molife's ESCOM was not even 3 days the whole year. They gave that ESCOM to Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa then took that ESCOM and gave it to Andre the Raider. And then they started blaming Jacob Zuma. No, this ESCOM is broken. This ESCOM, they were stealing 1 billion a month. This ESCOM, they started blaming, singing the blaming game. But they could not run ESCOM the way Brian Molefe was running it and the way Jacob Zuma was running it. But they want to tell us it's wasted years. They said he captured SARS. How did he capture SARS when Jacob Zuma himself was in trouble in SARS? How do you capture something but that something comes back and bites you? He referenced the 10 years of Jacob Zuma's term of office as a period in which there was a deliberate attempt to destroy the South African revenue system. Like I said, SARS. South African revenue system, let me see. He said, this is what Thabo Mbheki said. He said he was directly involved in capturing and taking over SARS. My goodness. Subsequently, ESCOM. Mbeki was the last speaker in the election commission looking at the electoral fortunes of the governing party. He took over the processes of destruction. Him and Tom Moyane aggressively so. Mbeki added that this has immensely contributed to the bad narrative the ANC government suffers today. Listen to this rubbish. Listen to this nonsense that Thabo Mbeki is saying. I will come back and ask, what is it that Thabo Mbeki did for black Africans in South Africa? Name one thing. Don't give me 10 things, 13 things. Name one thing that you say, you know what, when Thabo Mbeki was here, this is the benefit that we got singly as black people. The advantage that we got because of Thabo Mbeki. I can name many under Jacob Zuma. I can see free education, higher tertiary education, free. No other president in the ANC will ever beat that again, because there won't be another president of the ANC. Say, King, you are against the ANC. You are always speaking negative against. You are in the wrong channel. You are in the wrong podcast because you don't want to listen. You are following blindly. You want to tell me that you want to speak bad about Jacob Zuma and ignore the 5 years of Cyril Ramaphosa. We must now ignore it completely. We must not say anything about Cyril Ramaphosa and attack the 9 years that was about justice. The 9 years that was more than 6 years ago. We must ignore the past 5 years and attack the other 9 years that you say it was useless. You know, I've always said this about white people. When you want to tell them that the apartheid had an effect on how South Africans live today, and the generational curses and the burdens and the scars and the trauma that apartheid left on our parents rubbed off on us as the children. They tell you, leave history. Why are you always going back? You always playing the blaming game. You have a choice to fix your life right now. Okay, if that's what they are saying, it's fine. But then, when it comes to Jacob Zuma, everyone wants to go back to the years of Jacob Zuma and blame Jacob Zuma for what is happening today. They don't apply the same logic that they were applying about apartheid. I hope you guys see what is happening here. Now, in my conclusion, because I don't want to talk too much about this issue, in my conclusion, I'll say this. It's not going to stop now. The way the ANC is going to, the way this thing is going, I'm going to forecast this. You guys save this video because you will remember what I said. And Jacob Zuma is clever because he knows. Jacob Zuma is not a member of Umkhonto weSizwe, guys. I don't know how many times I must tell you. The man is smart. He's not a member of Umkhonto weSizwe. He's not the interim president of Umkhonto weSizwe. He's just the face of Umkhonto weSizwe. And being a face of Umkhonto weSizwe, there's nothing legally that can remove you from being a face. Any political party can use anyone as the face of the campaign. You understand? You can use Nelson Mandela. You can use Prince Buthelezi. You can use anyone. That person does not have to be a member of the party. You can say, no, Nelson Mandela was a South African icon. The ANC will probably fight you for that. But you can use different people. That's the point I'm trying to make. They're going to fight Jacob Zuma and try to frustrate the MK party. They're going to then fight for the change of the name. After fighting for the change of the name, they're going to fight for the deregistration of Umkhonto weSizwe from participating in the 2024 elections. You guys will come back to this video and say, King, you did say it. It's going to be a legal battle. We are waiting for him to announce the election date. Remember, he wants to announce it free without being challenged the SONA in Parliament. But unfortunately, the EFF is not going to allow that. What Parliament is missing right now is Umkhonto weSizwe. The ANC, they know their power. The days of having the majority in Parliament, they are numbered. It's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen anymore. You like it or not, there's no ANC that's going to get 50+%. It's not going to happen. Where do you think the voters of Umkhonto weSizwe are coming from? Do you think they are coming from the DA? Do you think they are coming from the EFF? You better believe they're coming. Most of them come from the ANC. And those who were disheartened and were no longer voting anymore. That's where the Umkhonto weSizwe people are coming from. And the new youth that is flocking into Umkhonto weSizwe. Remember, youth goes with the vibe. That's why you saw the EFF having a large amount of youth. You understand? Most of them, if you ask them the 7 pillars of the EFF, they won't be able to tell you. They're just going with the vibe. The vibe. That's youth. And you need to capture them at the correct moment so that the momentum can go. And that's why Umkhonto weSizwe has caught them at the right moment. They caught them in December. And the vibe went on. January, they went on. It's February now. The vibe is still there. You guys just tell me, what do you think about this attack from former President Thabo Mbheki? Very disappointed. The same man who was calling this current administration of Cyril Ramaphosa criminals. The same man that was calling them criminals, today he's attacking the former president, his successor, Jacob Zuma. These people think it's him. They think we are we don't listen. But anyway, that is why Tina, we are building PASETA, Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. We are building that school. We are going to build that. They like it or not, we are building that school. There, nobody will stop us. But we are praying that we have a government with Pan-African aspirations in them, because the ANC will probably stop us. The DA will probably stop us with red tapes. But the Umkhonto weSizwe, the EFF, will motivate young people like myself opening a school for Pan-Africanism here in South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I don't care if Umkhonto weSizwe does not get the 2/3 majority or does not. I just want to see Umkhonto weSizwe in parliament. I want to see the EFF growing its numbers in parliament. I would like to see Julius Malema as the next president of South Africa. I would like to see a vibrant young man leading this country, leading the Pan-African agenda into the continent. I would like to see that. I would like to see Umkhonto weSizwe. I would like to see Umkhonto weSizwe taking on government and changing the lives of the people of KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, and every province, and giving back the land like they are promising. I would like to see that. These ones angeke basinika umhlaba. Khohlwane, it's not going to happen. They are not going to give us the land, this one. They are not going to build a state-owned bank, this one. They are not even speaking about those things. Where have you had the ANC in their manifesto, in their campaigning or anything speaking about land? Where have you had it? They can't speak about land because they are the ruling party. Remember, they voted against the land issue when the EFF raised it up in parliament. They didn't want this thing of land without compensation. What is it? Land, that one. So yeah, hey, sizabona guys. We will see. Hi, if somehow or somewhere you just bumped into this channel, you are new. Hi, you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe because here you'll be getting the latest news every time as soon as it happens. Every day, 7 o'clock, you'll be getting videos, and you'll make sure that you are well informed with this channel. This is a Pan-Africanist channel. Here we advocate for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one army, and one Africa, one president. At the end, that must be the goal for all African countries, to form one big country and vote for one president that can speak in one voice for the entire Africa. The Africa that will have the strongest army in the world. I mean, America has cut their big continent into small pieces. New York is a country. New York has got more people, about 5 million people. New York has got more people than Botswana. New York has got more people than Namibia. Those are countries, but they call them small states in America. We can do the same here in Africa. In Europe, the borders are open. You can go from one country to another with the train. You can just fly. You don't need any passport to travel to other countries in Europe. It's only here in Africa where that nonsense is happening. But it's going to stop. It's going to stop. Because we're going to train the next generation to say, don't allow it in your lifetime. It stops with us. We are the last cursed generation in Africa. The next generation will open the borders. If we don't open them ourselves. Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. I salute you.
In a celebration of mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Ace Fighting Championship brings you a thrilling event on the 10th of February in Johannesburg, South Africa. Experience the intensity live at the EFC Performance Institute. Secure your tickets now on Howler and Ace Tickets for an unforgettable night of combat sports excellence.